Yeah, please. I'm waiting.
Yeah. So welcome all participants and our resource person from our ACPR. We welcome you all for this national webinar on bamboo oxygen park. So let's start this webinar with a silent prayer. Thank you all for your cooperation. So now let me invite our Executive Director, Reverend Father Lasser, to welcome the participants and the resource person for this webinar. Over to Father.
Good morning to all of you. As the newly appointed Executive Secretary of the IFS Center for Policy Research, I feel very happy to invite you all to this webinar on a very important topic. I, on behalf of the center, extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. We are really proud of our partnership with JRD Tata Eco Technology Center, MSSRF, Chennai. We are jointly organizing this webinar, and we are very proud of that. And today, the topic we are going to listen is bamboo oxygen park. So, as we think about this topic, we also understand the background, the carbon emission, which is causing so much of atmospheric changes and its damaging consequences on the, all forms of life on Earth, the climate change and its impact on human life and the life of other forms of life. And there is also a thought, especially when we are going through this COVID crisis, that it is also probably related to climate change. So we are in a very tight situation as, human family, and also taking care of our fellow travelers on the earth, our animals, birds, and trees and plants. So we have a responsibility to address this issue of climate change and the consequences that we all suffer. And we are also thinking of many solutions, and already many are making many efforts. For example, we are trying to switch over from fuel energy to clean energy. So in the same line of positive effort, we have this effort to create what you call a carbon sink. And to create, one of the ways of creating the carbon sink is creating the bamboo oxygen park. I find this is a very, very interesting solution that we are putting forward. It may be of interest to all our institutions and our faculty and students to take stock of the situation, how much we have progressed in this line, and how much we need to go forward. And we have a very eminent resource person to enlighten us on this topic. And we have Mr. S.Narayanan, IFS, Member Secretary, Haryana State Pollution Control Board, Chandigarh, who has very graciously accepted to offer us this input. And I'm sure he, with his field experience and occupying a very important position in the area of environmental control, he will be giving us very valid input, and that will help us to do our work in academic institutions very effectively. So with these few words of introduction, I once again welcome you all, and I wish you a very good time in this webinar session. So have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your welcome address. So now, let me share a few words of our resource person, Mr. Narayanan, IFS. So he has completed his agriculture degrees in basically an agriculture professional from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. He has completed his BSc Agri and MSc Agri with specialization in agricultural microbiology. So apart from that, he entered the service of Indian Forest Service in 1997, Haryana cadre. So after his service entry, he has also completed his MSc Forestry from Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy. And to add another feather to this cap, he has done a certificate course in environment management in Bradford University, UK, along with another MA in governance and public policy and political economy from International School of Social Studies, Netherlands. So these are his basic educational qualifications, and he has many professional qualifications to mention with. So I'll just highlight a few professional qualifications, and he has been awarded the prestigious British Chevening Fellowship during 2003. So apart from that, he has published mainly policy papers and research papers during his MSc, MA studies in the International School of Social Studies, Netherlands, and which has won the Best Essay Award during the year, during his MA tenure during the year 2014. So in his service experience, in his work experience to start with, he started his career in customs and then his IFS in 1997. So from 1997, he was been serving as assistant conservator. Then he has taken various positions from head of the monitoring and evaluation division of Haryana, deputy secretary to Government of India, then regional head of Southern Regional Office of National Wildlife Crime and Central Bureau of Southern States, and then few to mention with this mission director, National Health Commission of Haryana, and the commissioner, Food and Drug Administrator, Government of Haryana. And presently, he is a member secretary of Haryana State Pollution Control Board. So we are really very much lucky to rope in such a eminent resource person. So this resource person, mainly we were roped in collaboration with the MSSRF, Dr. Rangalakshmi, who is the director of JRD Tata Eco Technology Center. Madam is also with us. So with that, with both the collaboration of MSSRF and ACPR of AAC, we have roped in Mr. Narayanan IFS, and we are really gifted to have you, sir. So may I now welcome you, sir, for your presentation. Over to Narayanan, sir.
Thank you, Mabel. Thank you for your kind words. And good morning, all of you friends. I am Narayanan, as Mrs. Mabel has introduced. I'm presently serving as the member secretary of Haryana State Pollution Control Board. I have a brief experience in industries as well as in the environment related areas. So today the topic given was that actually bamboo oxygen parks. Okay. Now I'll start with my presentation, and then I will rather actually go ahead with the whatever little understanding I'm having with based on my experience and whatever things. It's again a learning experience for me. I've been rather teaching them in environmental related subjects. Oxygen park is a new concept as such, and this is again you can say a jugglery of words, again like a sustainable development, rather bringing in something into a concept and then rather replicating it in many areas. That is what is the main issue. So now what I will do is that actually I'll start my presentation. So I'll start sharing my screen also. Then I think if at all everything goes well, then if at all any problem is there, let me know, please. Is the presentation visible to you all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, this is my brief presentation, and now I want to rather actually show you what are the oxygen parks. What is that? This is a very new term, basically, a newly coined term or jargon, whatever you say. And why should we rather restrict to oxygen, bamboo oxygen parks? And what are the basic facts about bamboo in India as well as in Asia and a global level? And what is the history of it, or what is the present status of bamboo cultivation in India, and what is the status of the bamboo parks in India, and what are the major initiatives taken by the government of India to increase the bamboo and the oxygen parks, and again, what are the benefits of having a bamboo park actually. What are oxygen parks? By definition, I can say it is actually an antidote to the generic indoor gym environment, and helps the people to get back to the nature while fostering the social engagement and promoting active, healthy lifestyles. So the definition looks very complicated. The main basic underlying principle is that it should serve as a green lung in the city or a town or a semi-urban area. So that is actually a man-made thing, just to rather on the basis of the natural environment available. It is just a replication, a small miniature which is created just to rather actually, as Dr. Father rightly told, this is just to rather increase the demand, supply of the oxygen, and to rather give you a very conducive atmosphere and a proper environment for the city people, and also for the rural or the semi-urban rural people. Everywhere it is all now, deforestation is going on in a very big scale, and therefore these are the basic requirement in any civilized society or in any place. Now villages have to rather take the role of a city. They should be a miniature city, such as what it is there in many of the Western countries, including European countries also. Now, what are the oxygen parks? What are the different components that can be included in an oxygen park? Like you can say, we can have a walking track and a periphery as well as internal. This is there in each and every park. The parks are not very common in many areas of India. Basically, the city map is not, Town and Country Planning Department is not very meticulously planning its requirement, and it is not rather actually doing it in such a way. Fortunately, Chandigarh is one city where we have a very, very well planned city, where we have very industrial area, institutional area, commercial area, shopping area, and we have in each and every sector, we have sectors, and each and every sector, we have a special location for a park corresponding to almost the similar area of what the sector is. Basically, this is a huge area where we have an open gym, where we have a walking track, we have actually a picnic area, and everything is there. So in that way, actually, we are lucky to have that things in Chandigarh, like organized city. Gandhinagar is one more city like that. So in a basic oxygen park, you have these following components. You can have even yoga sheds. Nowadays, we are having yoga sheds also. As Father was also rightly pointing out, this is the COVID area. We have to keep our immunity level high, and we have to rather keep doing the social distancing parameters also. Now the issue is that how you are sitting and doing the yoga, breathing exercise, and other simple similar practices to increase our immunity level and to rather fight such pandemics. This is not going to go off within a day or two. You are all science students, you know that better. So it is not going to go overnight, or maybe within 1 year, or maybe rather actually 2 years also. This may rather stay back for quite a longer time, and we have to rather change modify our lifestyle according to the requirement, in which such oxygen parks are going to be very crucial, vital, and they are actually the basic requirement of the present day community. Now, these are all some of the components: open gym, watchtowers, herbal garden, washrooms, tree house, all the things are there. Now, why these oxygen parks are required? Now, as I was rather telling you very clearly, the main purpose is to rather create a microclimatic environment, natural environment in which everybody can rather spend some time to stress, bust the stress, whatever we are getting it in the very fast world now. Now, the second issue is to rather actually have a regular exercise and a place for a regular exercise or regular healthy activities. So in any organized township areas, they have embedded this particular plan in their master plan itself to accommodate the requirement of any civilized society. The kids need a play area, the adults need a proper walking space, and the elders need a proper resting space, with the covering with all the natural environment. Sitting inside the room and sitting inside the AC will not be always possible, or it will not be a healthy environment to boost your immunity levels. So this is one requirement, and it also provides many other microclimatic and beautiful aesthetic look also. And as I told you, this is a preventive as well as a proactive step to approach towards the health issues what we are facing today. Now, why we have to have bamboo parks? Yes, oxygen parks can be of anything. Actually, it can be even arboretum. We can call it as an oxygen park. A biodiversity park can be an oxygen park. Any other general park can also be an oxygen park. A multi-storied park can also be there. But the issue is that why we have to rather concentrate on bamboo parks. Sincerely, frankly speaking, There is no requirement for any specific oxygen, bamboo oxygen park. But having said that, I can always say that having the bamboo parks is having some advantages. You need not rather actually monopolize with the bamboo park alone. If you have an area, you have an understory, you have a middle story, you have an upper story, everything is there. But if it is dominated by bamboo, that has actually a specific advantage. And this is having, these advantages are many, not just one or two, there are many. Now, to cite a few, I can say they rather provide a very excellent view actually. Aesthetically, any bamboo park cannot be compared to any other park. Probably a tulip park can give you such a very good aesthetic look. Again, it should have a proper cover, canopy to have a resting place and give a overall ambience. Now, this bamboo, you can see anywhere in the picture, even I have presented one or two pictures in the beginning. They give a very good aesthetic look and they are having a fantastic actually atmosphere. It gives you a mental peace as such. If you go there, if you rather sit there, you have a look at that, you will actually get a very good and peaceful look also. And bamboos are very fast growing. And any plan can be rather done within 1 year, it can rather come overall that area can be covered. And this will be a very fine park even after 1 year. You need not wait for years together. Some of the trees will take you around 25 years to grow and reach a proper shape actually. Even neem trees, sometimes they take around 7 to 8, 10 years to rather attain a full growth. So till then, you have to rather wait for certain things to come. So bamboo is fast growing, that has its own advantage. Other thing is that economic returns actually what we are getting from bamboo is a very good thing. And that can be a source of maintenance of the park also. Bamboos are easy to manage. Actually, you don't need much to rather do other than collection of the trash and other things, and which are again having their own economic value, and they can be rather used for anything. It can support a number of biodiversity. Actually, bamboos have a shelter for many biodiversity activities, and by growing bamboo, you can have actually a ensured biodiversity activity of many of the other organisms also. Now they have very long cycles. You need not rather actually keep on cutting them. If you have a eucalyptus, if you have a poplar, if you have anything else of short duration, you have to rather keep on planning for this. These one have minimum of 75 years. Minimum, I have seen many of the bamboo forests, they run for even centuries. So that is one thing it can rather go for. Then being evergreen, this is not actually a leaf shedding tree. It is actually an evergreen tree, and it can come up in a variety of climatic conditions. There are so many species which can come out, and this can rather give a green look throughout the year, which is very essential for any park rather. So now, when I give you a brief introduction about bamboo, bamboo is a versatile crop. Probably many of you must be from botany background. I'm not very sure. So you must be knowing it actually. This is an evergreen perennial flowering plant, and it belongs to the subfamily of Bambusidae. And this belongs to Poaceae, which is commonly known as Graminea, grass family. So these are, as I told you, this is one of the most fast going species actually in the world. It goes even up to 1 meter per day in a day of 24 hours. And this means as good as around 1 inch for every 40 minutes, which is remarkable. And this is one more advantage of production of biomaterial, and which can be used in, like you see, what we use it in case of banana. This is actually used. Every pot is used, and it is all economical actually. Economically, it is very, very sensible to plant bamboos. This can be used as food. This can be used as medicine. This is actually used as construction material. This is in substitute for wood. Handicrafts, it's a very good material. Now this is actually a craft item. You can keep 1 or 2 bamboo items in every place, and this will be a very good and showcase item also. In many of the places like Thailand and Southeast Asian countries, this is a very good market is there for bamboo products. Now bamboo flowering, I just want to rather, when we are actually studying about the bamboo biology, a very interesting factor is bamboo flowering. Bamboo flowering is a very peculiar phenomenon. It doesn't happen every time. In many of the species, it doesn't happen every year like what happens in other places. It actually propagates vegetatively, and this has actually a very long life cycle. They rather have a very few bamboo plants actually flower every year annually. Most of them rather flower only once in their life cycle, and after that flowering they die also. This is actually this is again have a very peculiar phenomenon of flowering at the same time, gregarious flowering. We call it as gregarious flowering or moss flowering in bamboo. What it happens is that even a small set, if you have actually propagated it vegetatively, rhizome, even in Tamil Nadu or in Kerala, and you have taken the original material from somewhere in Tripura or from any northeastern state or UP, whatever it is. When this bamboo rather actually flowers, that also flowers. This is actually a genetic issue. There is nothing to be worried, very surprised about it. But this happens actually uniformly. So you can even identify which is the base. Now it is moss flowering is done here, then there is a moss flowering done in that part of the area. So we can actually correlate them that they are from the same origin. So it actually flowers simultaneously. And then what happens is that then this the theory is that it has a memory and sort of a thing, but it is basically a genetical thing that is actually getting rather any material transferred to any part of the country or world, they can rather actually simultaneously flower. This gregarious flowering, once it actually finishes, then they will go for a death. It will be actually a massive death in the entire area. All the bamboo forests will be rather dead. After that, you have to go for a new plantation. Now, this is actually, this is right there from the mythological era and even historical things. Many of the forest note, what we call it is in the forestry is the forest note, a tour note or whatever forest note. Usually in olden days, the Germanians and some of the Britishers and many Indian foresters, they used to write very vivid note, actually, very lively notes. If you rather read any such old note, it may be available in the net also. You go through it. You can rather immediately imagine the condition of a forest bungalow and surrounding areas, surrounding plantations, even a small insect, whatever has come there. They write it very vividly. They used to write it very vividly so that you can have a very good, and there are many notes available on bamboo flowering. Bamboo flowering, how it happened, how it has rather actually gregariously flowering has started. After that, what was the aftermath? The issue is that once the bamboo flowering is done, it is actually it rather invites a lot many rodents. Rodents are basically this. I'm talking about rats. Basically, the rats will be in numerous numbers. There will be a huge population of rats outburst of this one because they get a lot of feeding materials. And once the flowering ends, these rats multiplied in lakhs and lakhs, they don't have any other place to rather feed upon. They will feed upon the agriculture field and agriculture stock, and that will immediately lead to a famine, and that will lead to actually land degradation, everything, all the things. Though normally this is not a good omen of scientifically we have all the reasons to tell why this is not a good omen or why it is bringing up a devastation after the bamboo flowering. But this is actually the sequence of events. Once the bamboo flowering happens, this will rather keep the entire area open for the next plantation. All the plants will die, and simultaneously this will increase the number of rodents, and that will rather increase the increased pressure on the agriculture crops, particularly rice and other field crops, and that will rather lead to famine. This is actually this will rather create a social unrest, and that is actually the whole sequence of it. Now, in more of the northeastern states, they have taken this bamboo moss flowering very seriously. Rather, if they are actually assessing that in the next 2 years, this is going to happen. Right now, they start rather doing so many safeguard measures. They will even cut down the bamboo tree, or they will rather actually safeguard their own field also. They will plan it very meticulously to avoid any disaster following this mass or gregarious flowering. So now this is the main thing which is about the bamboo flowering. This is a very natural and very surprising phenomenon found only in bamboo to my knowledge. Now I'll tell you what is the status of bamboos in India. There are around 80% of the bamboo forests which are lie in the Asian countries of the world. And mostly with China, India, Burma, Thailand, and other countries nearby. And India, put together with China, India is the second largest country with the largest genetic resources. Put together with China, will rather actually have more than 50% of the global production. And there are in India alone, they say that it is around 125 to around 136 indigenous species and exotic species belonging to as many as around 26 genera. And out of these Indian population, Indian production, more than 50% is in northeastern states. Northeastern states are mainly known for these things: bamboo forest. Arunachal, Tripura, Mizoram, all these places have a very high population of forest area also. They have the highest area under the bamboo forest. And the bamboo forest occupy as around 10.03 million hectares, which is roughly around 13 to 14% of the total forest in the country, which is a very huge percentage actually. Now, if you compare the production in India, it is around 4.6 million tons, about which around 1.5 million, 1.9 million tons is used only by the pulp industry. That means around half of it, 40 to 45% of the area production is used mainly for the pulp production. The annual average yield actually is varying from 0.2 to 0.4 actually. This is the annual yield. And with this much of production also, India's contribution, if you say, in the world market is only around 4%, which is very, very low. So that means there is a very high potential of increasing the utilization of this bamboo. Right now they are used very much locally. They are not getting imported and they are not getting the local global market, mainly because most of them are actually rather lying in the northeastern states. And northeastern states are otherwise having logistic problems also. Transportation is not there, skill development is not there, popularity is not there. There is no center of attraction available there. And that is one reason. Now the main species here these are the things: Arundinaria, Bambusa, and all these things are there actually. These are the main things which are having the popularity in India. In 2006, Government of India launched an NBM, National Bamboo Mission, based on the report of 2003, that is National Mission on Bamboo Technology and Trade Development Report. This particular mission's key objective was to promote bamboo and promote its industry as an industry, provide an impetus to the entire bamboo sector, and to rather actually realize the India's potential in the bamboo production as well as in the global market. That was the main purpose of this one. This is a general purpose. You can say that the main underlying concept is that you have to promote bamboo and rather tap out its potential. That is the main issue. Now, till 2015-16, this was actually continued to work under the Integrated Horticulture Development Mission. After that, in 2018, you can say that it was rather actually another renovated, restructured bamboo mission was also rather introduced. You can say this is for your statistical purpose. I can say around 3.6 hectare land has been rather covered since 2006-7. And I remember, once it is planted, it is not harvested every year unless there is actually a proper harvesting or extraction mechanism is there. So the 91,715 hectare of existing bamboo plantation has to be improved for higher productivity. And there are so many bamboo nurseries. And now we are using technology labs for other producing the clones also. There are around 61,000 farmers, more than 60,000. Now they are producing it very commercially also, particularly in the northeastern states and in northern states. They are actually producing it along with other crops as a commercial production. So in Haryana also they are actually using it. In some of the areas in Punjab also they are doing it. UP again. So retail markets where I have been developed due to this mission and everything is going on. As I told you, there is a restructured NBM was approved by Government of India. And this mission is again envisaging the promotion of holistic growth of bamboo sector, adopting an area-based approach, regionally differentiated strategy because the species are different, requirements are different, skill sets are different, and training facilities are different. So now they are even rather developing bamboo technology parks. This has been rather approved by the government of India. Now, in the newly developed union territories, declared union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and they have actually made a provision. Donair has already made a provision for 2 bamboo technology parks there. And this is there, one is there already in Assam, Dima Hasawar district of Assam. There is already one thing, and there are bamboo development agency, BDAs, in all the states, and every state has a bamboo mission office, development authority, or office mostly attached to the horticulture department or to the forestry department, whatever it is there. There is a mission director. They rather actually keep on rather doing it. Now, again, we will come back to the track of what was the need for developing the oxygen parks. As I told you, with these initiatives which are provided to bamboo parks, bamboo development, bamboo plantations, bamboo propagation, now we have to rather take this one into advantage, and we have to rather develop a proper bamboo park using the funds available, using the promotion available, using the material, genetic material available. And this can rather actually in a larger way help us to rather prevent the air pollution, especially around the densely populated areas. This is one part is the physical health. The next part is the mental health. You need such places for a peaceful and a society, as well as for a healthy mental setup of the composition of the society. So that is again actually a well accepted concept in any developing countries. You can see it in any Western countries, European countries. You could go anywhere, they will have this sort of a concept, and they have. It is very much possible for them because of the very low density of population. But still, we can also make it in places like Russia. I have seen they also have such concept. Only they have a very concentrated approach. Like in Moscow, if you see, you will have a very concentrated development of the societies, but still they will have an outdoor activity equally important for these things. So these oxygen parks are going to be very helpful in rather mitigating many of the health issues as well as the climate change issues. And they will also help you to rather conserve the water, and land degradation problem will be largely solved because of these things. So these are all the main advantages of rather having the oxygen parks, as well as I told you, this is actually going to help you economically also. They can rather actually provide a very good source for the rural employment and local skilled. What we say is that low skilled people, micro industries, in the MSME sector, we call it as micro industries, which are actually requiring very unskilled sort of laborers and unskilled sort of thing. This is but a very skilled job. I have seen some of the handicrafts made by these people. They are highly skilled, but they are not actually having enough education to rather reach out to the higher level. So this will be another very good opportunity for them to rather develop such things. I don't know how many of you might have visited some city in Toy City. They call it as in Karnataka. On the way from Mysore to Bangalore, you can say, I forgot the name of the city. I've visited 2-3 times. They prepare only toys, handmade toys. That is a very popular for that. So that city has developed it. Like in a similar way, I have seen it in some of the European countries. Actually, in German, they have a small village. They develop some handicrafts only made out of toys. They are much costlier. Whereas in India, they are actually very cheaper. Handmade things are always costlier outside the India. And here, if we develop such a potential in the market, which can be exported to outside India and rest of the world, this will rather actually help us to improve our own economic status as well as to the rural economy also. So this should be rather actually synergized. The population which is rather lying inside that park area, that can be a very good, so this can be a very good source for them. Huge parks actually improve the microclimatic condition. As I told you very clearly, you see the picture, you can rather immediately imagine what could be the effect of such a park in a nearby residential area. This will rather actually improve the quality as well as the standard of that area itself as such. And as I told you, this is going to help the microeconomy and rural economy, particularly those people who are dependent upon the handicrafts and local skills. And if should be rather made as a part of any city, any plan, any local plants also, micro plants, you should have a place for such oxygen parks. And that should be rather immediately rather incorporated. This should be rather, I'm stressing it out in Haryana government, asking them to rather make everywhere. We are actually having a very well-defined approach towards the town and country planning development rather than in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, they give it very blindly without even rather actually noticing whether it is a lake area, whether it was a lake area, whether it was an agriculture field area. Land use, change of land use is quite easy and they have a very flexible rules. Here in Haryana, at least they are a little mindful of those things. So any common park or anything. And I'm really thankful to Mabel and Father for having given me such an opportunity to rather interact with you all. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer. Thank you, friends.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, can please raise. Deva Prince sir, Srinivasan sir,
Madam.
தேவா பிரின்ஸ்னு ஒரு பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட் இருக்காங்க பாருங்க, அவங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு பாருங்க. He is a staff member.
Some of the things they have asked actually in the chat box. Yeah, I can see that one such question is that you have the liberty of rather putting me if I have missed some of them. One is that can we plant bamboo in anywhere or
Yes.
best places to grow bamboo? You see,
He is one of our
bamboo has a wide adaptability. Actually, bamboos can grow from the, I have already actually mentioned it in my presentation also. They grow everywhere actually. Maybe actually it depends upon the species. If that species is not growing, some of the species which are actually grown in northeast area, they don't grow up in some other parts also. But you have bamboo. So you see in my university, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, if you visit, we had a bambootarium that was there actually. I don't know whether it is bamboo satum is still there or not. It is there.
Yeah, it's there. The Narayanan
it is all,
there. Madam Rangalakshmi will explain that. She is
that is also there. So it can come up anywhere actually. It can be a self-propagating sort of a thing. You have to cut down the interior bamboo and that can rather spread out actually widely.
So there are few questions also.
Cause diseases like mutated virus such as corona. Again, this is I take it as only as a comment on that. They can say that poverty in rural area. You see, I think one Ranjita has asked this question. You see, rural population cannot be rather employed in actually our economy is a very different economy compared to any other developed country or industrial economy. Our economy still depends largely on agriculture and allied activities. So rural economy and our demography structure is like that. Most of the people live in the rural areas still now. And now we have to develop actually a localized economy for their development. And Gandhi rightly said, I totally agree with him, you have to develop the villages. And that should be the, you can afford to have the industries in the sector, industrial areas, that is a different issue. But the rural economy should thrive on its own. Now, a bamboo can sustain the local people's requirement also. As I told you, bamboo has more than 1,500 uses. It is medicinally, it is very good. And it has actually a very good potential for construction material. And it has even bamboo rice, many people eat. Actually, many of my friends also have it. It's a natural thing and they can have that also. There are many advantages of bamboo. Handicrafts is one of them. So by rather actually developing the local skills and providing a market at local level, I can assure you that this is actually, you see, Tripura, one of my friends, he is also from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. He was earlier director there. Now one more fellow has joined. He is again my junior. They are mission directors there in the Tripura mission, bamboo mission. So what is that? They are actually developing the local economy. Now the issue is that now you have to link it with the proper market. If you are able to rather link it with the market, then it can definitely revive the economy, and it will be very helpful. Take my words, it is going to be very helpful for the local rural people. One more thing is the market value of bamboo rice. You see, I immediately don't have the information. You can search it in the Google. I can try to rather supplement it if it is available. Many of my friends are still having it. I'll try to rather actually, there is a friend of mine who is the director of FSSA in Tamil Nadu. And he was yesterday actually, when I was discussing some other issue with him in a meeting, then he was just sharing with me that I'm even having bamboo rice of so many kilos. So it is a very commonly available thing. It must be available in the online also. Bamboo related startup among youth. Ranjita, I don't really get what it is actually. You see, for youth, again, you have to rather actually any panchayat land program or with the forest development program, forest department program, horticulture mission program. This can be a very good thing by supplying them the seed materials. If you are a technically as a qualified fellow, you can start a small lab for supplying of bamboo products and this one. Or you can even have a selling link, marketing link can be made. Like Delhi Art is there in Delhi. If you go and see that, it is actually all these things are providing a market for such handicrafts items. This is one such a. I was actually in the Ministry of Deputy Secretary and Director in the Ministry of MSME, and I was looking after Khadi and Village Industries Commission. So that was coming under my desk, and I was rather looking after that particular sector. And of course, I was looking after the CAI board also. There is one scheme called Spurti, and there is another scheme called PM EGP, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. These things I drafted during my period in the ministry. Under this one, we have a very special relevance for bamboos. So that can be rather quite helpful for the micro sector units. Water requirement bamboo park is actually, it depends. If they store water, rather actually it grows up in areas where there is a good water content is available. Most importantly, most of the water is actually getting drained off. So the thing is that retention capacity of the soil is increased. They rather actually retain water, and this grows up in many of the even relatively drier area. I have not seen it in very dry areas, but relatively drier areas, it comes up. It comes up almost in all places actually.
You have many questions, Narayanan, still more questions there. Can you read? Can you read those?
Yeah, I'm doing it actually. If I missed it, any important thing is there, let me know.
One person,
household level, you can do it actually.
No,
household level,
yeah.
it will give a very, if you have a space, you see in the urban society, we don't have much space for these things actually. Most of us live in the individual flats, or even if it is not a flat, we don't have a, we cannot afford to rather grow bamboo and all there. Rather, we are intending to rather grow small gardens in which actually we get some vegetable. That is all very basic necessity we can have. I'll suggest that actually it can be, if you have a space. In Kerala, it is there. In many places, you can have this one. Kerala farmhouses are also there. I've seen it in many of the areas. They have very big houses actually. And I've seen it in Karnataka, interior parts of Karnataka, I've seen it. In Andamans, it is there. I've seen it there. In many places, it is there. It is possible very much. Why not to? This is a plant and it can come anywhere actually. A specific variety available for dry land and cultivation or this one, I'll try to rather find out. There are many species, which is best fellow is the local horticulture fellow or the bamboo mission fellow who can rather give you the things also. Who can give acha. So how one Ranjita is from Kerala, and how bamboo plants help in reducing floods. Reducing floods, Ranjita, the main issue is that they can stop land degradation. Land degradation is a big problem. This is a basic scientific question, which is rather being asked right from 8th standard to civil service examination. So the main fundamental of rather controlling flood is stopping the degradation by rather actually putting up a larger plantation. We can rather control the flood erosion, flood control, erosion, and then flood control. coal powder and waste from poultry husbandry, we can spread the growth in bamboo in many places. In this is this possible? Yeah, you can receive coal and waste from poultry. They have some micro level nutrient value is there, organic content is there. Mainly they are used for improving the soil structure. Okay, na? But again, you have to see the quantum and the quality. It can be mixed up. It will rather improve the soil quality of anything. That is one issue. Now, yeah, pollution. How much they are effective the in reducing the pollution? Bhuvaneshwari has asked. The pollution again, actually, you see, they are going to be a first thing is I have told you they are going to supply the oxygen. Second thing is that they are actually going to act as a physical barrier. You might have all seen actually. I'm the hot man for that air pollution. I'm here for the last 4, 5 years in the pollution control board. And here I am tackling the Delhi air pollution, whatever is there. They are always blaming on Haryana and Punjab, because we have a peculiar problem of rather actually stubble burning. So we do that, and we face a lot of problem during that way. So anything physically, it is acting as a green belt. Secondly, it is rather producing a microclimatic condition which reduces the pollution of air. Noise pollution is reduced, and it can rather actually even reduce the water pollution. So many ways it is actually, it is a common phenomenon. So
Which bamboo grows fast? This is a question which is put up in YouTube, Narayanan. Which
yeah,
bamboo
okay.
grows fast? And another question is, can bamboo be grown in cold climates like Canada?
It is coming up. As I told you, it comes up everywhere actually. It comes up in many places, and fastest growing species. Again, actually, this depends. There are as many as around 150 species available in the entire country and in the globally also. So you have to choose which is actually most suited. In Himachal, we have it. Nearby areas, we have it actually. Bamboos are there. So that can be rather, I can find out and share with you, which is actually suitable for very cold climatic conditions. That is a very easily rather it can be found out, and locally this can be tested in the local horticulture mission or any other local labs, and that can be propagated. It is a very adaptive thing. Adaptability is very high in this one.
And the frequent question many of them have posted is, can we grow bamboo in our home garden? So
I answered that. See, the main limitation is they are growing very fast, and they will rather actually grow so fast that within a year it will cover the entire area. So the problem is that it is not going to be very ugly. But actually in home, I want to warn you one more thing. It can shelter many insects and particularly snakes also. I don't want to rather actually frighten you, but the issue is that there are many cases I have seen bamboo snakes in the bamboo area. It is not a direct correlation or but naturally snakes can rather come to any locality where there is a very good green vegetation. I tell some of my friends in Coimbatore also that rather keep your area clean. That is the main fundamental thing. If you are keeping your garden hygienic and clean, then you can take care of it. This is a routine thing, we have to do it.
And another question is, what about bamboo cotton and its market value?
Sorry?
What about bamboo cotton and its market value?
See, that depends. Where it grows is actually a problem. Now, if you go to Delhi Heart and see a bamboo product, I have seen glasses. Now, you might have also seen actually even in this area, in this period, we are even rather, I saw it in Amazon or Flipkart somewhere, a product made of bamboo water cans. That is also available. And one of my friends was having even a beer glass for that. This one. This looks very, what you can say, that exotic sort of a thing. So people keep those things. It depends upon the area and the type of markets you have. You can, and the aesthetic thing you can, it depends. Like in case of Delhi, the rate may be different. In your village, it may be different. So that is why I am insisting a marketing channel has to be developed by the local agencies, like state government agencies, or through NGOs or any other organization. That they have to develop the market. And See, once it starts rather floating in, then the demands will come. But that is an organized activity. I agree that this cannot come overnight and all. And somebody has asked that actually, yes, bamboo plants flower only after 150 years. So issues like rodent increase is negligible. Again, I'm telling you, rodent 150 years is actually the highest period. Normally, the period ranges from 65 years to 125 years. You can say more or less. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Clear.
So the issue is that actually rodents, once it comes, that entire village, which has been rather actually planted with the same rhizome or with the same variety, they will all face the mass gregarious. You might have seen it actually somewhere while traveling. Those people who are used to travel a lot, they might have seen it. It will be entirely bamboo flower. But once you see that, you can immediately identify, yes, this is actually a mass flowering phenomenon. It is not a normal annual flowering. It is sporadic flowering is actually one or two places it will happen. Mass flowering means entirely the entire forest will be of that area. That will be that death will rather immediately create a huge production of the nuts, and then that will rather create a large population of rodents. And these rodents, you see, I'll share with you one more thing. In Mizoram, almost 4 or 5 years back, there was a mission started. They told that actually whoever kills a rat and they give it, the government started purchasing it. So the killing and giving the rat and then taking it actually. So that way also, to that extent it goes. It is not. It is actually a serious issue. We don't rather face it because we don't probably, you people don't live near that area where the bamboo rather is very huge or in large number. But this is a huge problem for the local economy, and I'm rather. It cannot be rather wished away just like that. It is a very huge, big problem for those people who are living there.
Narayanan, hello.
Yeah.
There's one question which is repeatedly asked by one of our staff members that he has purchased bamboo rice for rupees 250 per kg. So he wanted to know the benefits of bamboo rice.
Mabel, I'll share with you today because the best fellow to do this one is my friend who is there in the FSSA, Muthumaran. You must be knowing actually. He was our classmate also. He was in FCA and he is right now the regional director of Madras region, Tamil Nadu region. So because he had a very elaborate thing, I'll share with you and you can rather actually circulate it instead of rather actually it has medicinal values. That is why another friend of mine who is a commissioner in Bangalore, he was also asking for the same thing and he is now sending it. I'll get back to you that. Instead of rather actually giving
another thing, can you just read the one comment which is written by that Ranjita? Can you read that someone has like a forest act that bamboo has ceased to be a tree anymore? Can you read that, Narayanan?
Yeah, actually, you see, forest act is different. Basically, you don't rather. We are now dealing with a different issue. The Forest Act is maintained only for the purpose of rather actually violations and doing another thing. We plant bamboo and we rather actually do it as a this one. This particular thing is mainly for preventing them from booking under heavy offences. Naturally, a bamboo cannot be equated with very high value trees like teak or any other sal or any other tree. We need not rather actually confuse that one, the provisions of the Forest Act with this one. That hardly matters to us.
Okay, my basic question after your webinar is the main purpose of conducting this webinar was, Narayanan, like when I was just attending a meeting with the academic meeting, which was just funding academic institutions for seminar and symposia. So they were just advising about this creating oxygen park by bamboo cultivation. So that on that basic concept, we arranged this webinar, right?
Oh, great.
So my basic question is, many of the participants, they have question, like they have put their question, raised their question is, can bamboo be grown in our house, that is our backyard of our houses? So if at all, my basic question is, if at all we are going to grow bamboo in the backyard, so automatically I want to get this answer confirmed from you, that is basically our oxygen level in and around our surroundings will increase. Am I right or wrong?
Yes. Actually, I just forgot to rather tell you this one. There are certain findings in which actually they have found that bamboos are rather actually responsible for more oxygen release than other comparatively with other plants and all. That is one thing actually. You see, Mabel, instead of rather actually zeroing in on growing bamboo vis-a-vis oxygen. Oxygen can be rather, you see, main purpose of oxygen is we have around this high level of oxygen there. So nobody is going to rather die of starvation of oxygen. We don't rather actually try to rather put it in that way. But overall, we have to increase the green level. And that actually for that aesthetic level should also be rather increased. So for these purposes, bamboo can be a very good alternative. That is my purpose. That is my understanding of this particular overall issue. I understand you, what you are telling is right. You can grow in the backyard.
Okay.
But the issue again is that it is a fast growing and it is a long cycle.
It occupies more space.
Yeah.
It occupies more space.
It immediately spreads over also. So
Okay.
if you are very regularly cutting it and selling it, it can be an economically beneficial thing for any household fellow. But again, actually, it depends upon your availability of land and your interest also. Some people grow orchids and all also in some of the bamboo stratum and all. That is also again done. I have seen some of the houses which are beautifully rather landscaped with this, especially in Kerala, I have seen many houses. They actually grow bamboo only for the purpose of rather beautiful landscape, aesthetic value.
Okay. So many have a question like, what is the nutritional concept? That is because many prefer bamboo rice, many prefer bamboo rice. So many questions are in the chat boxes. What is the nutritive value of bamboo rice? Can we have it? So that is the main question.
Nutritional value of the bamboo rice, I will share you. Yeah. And there are many other medicinal purposes also. You see, they make many medicines out of this one. They are localized medicines are also available. They are useful actually. And number of medical benefits are there. Anyway.
So what is National Bamboo Mission? That's a mission that
NBM is the mission which is I shared in my presentation also. It was started way back in 2003. And tree report, with the tree report, they started it in 2006. And this is to rather promote, this is a Government of India initiative. It was under the National Board for Horticulture Mission. And this was to rather actually promote bamboo, its uses, and to tap its potential and increase its international market, everything. It is a broad mission actually. It was done and it has been restructured in 2018 again. This has certain other components included, and they have a bamboo technology park also coming up in the new UTs of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir.
Then Narayanan, can you share the issues and challenges in bamboo, having a bamboo park or just creating a bamboo park or cultivation, having 2-3 bamboos in colleges, academic institutes or at home? Can you just share pinpoint few issues and challenges mainly? Because common man, we have the knowledge that there will be snake problem. Once there is a bigger arena of bamboo,
taken that way seriously.
So can you just cite out few?
Bebel, I'm telling you one thing. Basic issue is that actually the snake is actually, I just mentioned it on the way. I should not rather actually hold certain things with myself. That is to be a frank presentation. I made that point also, because if you are growing it in the home, you should take care of these issues. Apart from hygiene point, there's nothing actually much you require to take care of. Issue is only the space availability. Second issue comes only, you see, the issue is that you might have rather brought the seed from some place. You might have planted it now this year, but you don't know the history of that particular origin. Then suddenly this is having a mass flowering next year itself. Every bamboo will die the next year or after 2 years of establishment. Now you have to go for the another material. That is the only issue I see. I don't see any other issue in this one. If you have a space and if you have a passion for this, then you can go for it. And you can rather in colleges and all, particularly where there is a chance of rather developing the biotechnological equipments and technique and all, they can rather use it as one of the major initiatives or research programs also. They can have it.
Is there any subsidy offered from the government for bamboo
There
cultivation?
actually, locally it must be available. You can check it out with the local governments, state governments, or in the national thing also. Must be available. I don't remember. I don't immediately have that information. I'll share with you if it is. If I'm having.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Narayanan, very much. I am really grateful for your contribution. Madam Rengalakshmi, are you there?
Hi.
Madam?
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, now shall I call upon Rengalakshmi ma'am for the word of thanks? Narayanan Rengalakshmi is our UG classmate and our PG classmate who has done agronomy.
Okay,
I hope you
remember.
remember her.
Mabel, one
yes.
minute. Mabel, I am Salom here.
Yes.
Hi, Rengalakshmi.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I really, sorry, Salom. And Narayanan, Salom, head of the Environmental Sciences Division of Kerala University. She's also joined because yesterday after posting the invitation,
I know.
she's also joined with us. Welcome, Salom.
Yeah.
Yes,
actually, I joined late, but your presentation was excellent, very informative. I think Ranjita is a student. I sent the link to her students also. Ranjita joined, and I think she interacted well. And it's good. I think in this situation of plastic pollution, maybe our bamboo products can replace plastics everywhere. And as Mabel has suggested, some subsidies to develop the products and also market these products that are very important, I think.
Thank you, Salo. Nice to meet you again.
And also nice to see Rengalakshmi and Mabel all same batchmates together.
Thank you, Salom. And over to Rengalakshmi for word of thanks. Rengalakshmi, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Narayanan. Thank you, Mabel, for connecting us. It's a kind of a good opportunity, and it's we are very happy that we connected through this very informative as well as a kind of an very necessary event in the context of increasing climate change and the deforestation. So it is a kind of an candidate species we can consider. And right now, when we take the state of forest report, current forest cover is 24.5%, but still there is a long way to reach 33%. As we all have studied, that 33% is essential to maintain the country's ecological systems. But we have been proposing several tree species as a kind of an species which are very important to that local context from the ecological point of view, economic as well as the social point of view. But the importance of bamboo among this three dimension, it is a very good species we can consider, and it has importance in the context of climate change, because it sequesters carbon to a greater extent compared to other species. That is one. And second, from soil and water conservation point of view, it is a good species for restoring the degraded lands. The degraded lands amounts to more than 12 to 15%, and in some few places it is more than 25%. So depending on the local context, we can consider this as a kind of a good species along with other species. Again, cultivation of bamboo alone, it may create some ecological imbalances, but if it is combined with other species, it will be a good mixed forest system, promote multiple ecological functions along with economic functions. So thank you very much, Narayanan, for giving us a kind of a very good overview about the species. And it creates a kind of an awareness and motivation among us to bring this species as one of the candidate species in all our interventions. Definitely, we will see to that how we can integrate the species in the ecosystem. And
thank you, Rengalakshmi.
Yes.
Thank you, Mabel. Thank you, Salo, and thank you, Father. Thanks all the participants for. And frankly speaking, I am not an expert in this area. I just actually tried to rather present whatever was possible from my side. So I'll be rather trying to collect the details what Mabel asked, and I'll try to send them also. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, organizers and the participants.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rengalakshmi. Thank you, Narayanan. Thank you,
Thank you.
Salom. Thank you, Salom, for spending your time. Salom, and thank you all the
for
participants.
inviting me. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes,
I could
thank you,
see
Salom.
Narayanan after, 30 years or something. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Salo. Keep in touch. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you, one and all. Srinivasan sir, can you post the feedback link? Srinivasan sir?
போஸ்ட் பண்ணியாச்சு மேம்.
சரி.
Hi, Salom. நான் நல்லா இருக்கிறேன். நீ எப்படி இருக்கிற? பசங்களாம் எப்படி இருக்காங்க, Salom? Yeah, I can hear you. Hello, Salom.